What a good, yeah, he's a good boy. Yes, you are. Oh, oh, but no, let's not do that. Let's not do that, big man. You're a nut. Oh, man. Oh, Papa, no, sir, no, sir. Okay, no, we're not doing that, crazy man. Not doing that. Hold on just a second. Hold on, no. That's a bark-free zone, everybody. Oops, Papa, hold on a second. It's a bark-free zone. Hey, what's going on, Rick? Hey, Rick, I got you set up. Nancy, Mark, Rob. Rick, I got you set up in the software there. You should be good to go if you see that, where you can see your holdings. But I think you did. Y'all hear this guy? I think you did email me back on that. I'm at a friend's house right now, and we're all down here. Just got done eating some crabs. Oh man, I love crabs. Hold on just a second. We're gonna make this a shorter one tonight, because I don't want to be rude, but it's all right. I appreciate y'all being here for sure. Good boy. You want to go see that other dog? All right, hold on just a second, everybody. We're gonna go here. Oh boy, now Pablo's doing the, when dogs, they sit on their frontage. All right, hold on a second. There you go. All right, go join your friends. Good boy. All right. Oh boy, what a nut. All right. We just got done eating some crabs. That's why I was running a little bit late getting set up here, but I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you. Let me just get this finalized here, set up. There we go. Looks good. All right, there. We want to go here. Crack how. We want to go there. Yep. All right, sweet. And I'm not going to have any inappropriate language, YouTube. So don't take away the money I make off this, which is very minimal, by the way. Just in case you're wondering about how much you get paid on these things, it's not much. It's let me just actually, it'll be fun to go over that. Let's see, I guess I won't be there. Hold on a second. It's interesting with YouTube. A lot of people, I mean, I know some of these guys make big bucks. A lot of people think they can make huge amounts of money on these videos. You don't. It's actually, let me just hold on a second. Let me get this up here real quick. There we go. I'll go here. There we go. So I want to share a couple articles with you here today that I think you'll get a lot out of, as a matter of fact. But let me just I want to see the comments. There we go. All right, sweet. Let me just do this. Blink. Looks good. All right, cool. There we go. You heard Pablo, John, did you? Right on. Thomas? Hey, Tom, what's going on? Dana, what's going on in Maine, man? Did you see the Trumpster was in Maine? I saw that. And Trumpster was telling the fishermen up there that he's going to get rid of some regulations so they can actually start getting back to moving product. I was very happy to see that. So good stuff. Hey, Denise. I'm on the wrong side of tropical storm. Eesh, be careful out there for sure. All right, so on YouTube, just as an FYI, you can see I got some sun on my face. We're outside today. Actually, look at that. Definitely pink skin is kind of a little bit pinker. We're outside today. That's what I'm going to say. So on YouTube, they pay you based on cost per mil. So you get paid based on how many 1,000 views are on your channel, if that makes sense. So for each 1,000 views, you get a certain amount of money. And it ranges from 25 cents, I think, to some channels to the average is between $1 and $4. Some channels will pay you 25 cents, some will pay $4. Financial channels pay more than $4. Financial channels pay about twice that, which is why you'll see a bunch of financial channels out there, because if they can get some traction, they can make decent money. But it's based on 1,000 views. So if you get 1,000, so you can tell right there, if I have 10,000 views a day and I get $80 or $8 per 1,000 views, I make $80 a day. And that's about average, actually. And that now has dropped because of the Great Recession. No, because of the commie virus recession. But that's how you that's how you know. Just in case you're wondering. Actually, I'm going to share with you something here real quick. It'll be interesting. Que paso, John B. Humidity was killer last week. Right on. I saw it'd be interesting. I'll show you a bear with me just a second. I don't know if you guys are interested in this or not. I am. I think it's pretty interesting. So I'm going to go to Social Blade and we're going to share my screen. All right. And we're going to look at, all right, so here's my screen at socialblade.com. So if you're interested in other people's YouTube channel, this is a good website you can look at to just get a gauge of what the activity is, how much they're making stuff. And we'll just start with my own Heritage Wealth Planning. And you click on socialblade.com and you can click on this right here. You get this stupid DDoS thing. It's silly, but there you go. And we click on me, select channel, my smiling mug there. And I have had 6.7 million video views since I've been doing this. I don't know where they get April 21st, 2017. My first video wasn't until March 1st of 2018. So I don't know where they got that. And it'll give you a pretty interesting idea here in terms of how many subscribers you have, how many uploads you have, how many video views you have. And you can see that my subscribers weekly are pretty stable at about 250 a week, or basically 1,000 a month, 200 a week, 250 a week, 1,000 a month. It's steady. Now, the interesting thing is here, they say I'm only getting 18,400. They're about half off. I get twice that because Social Blade thinks the average is between $1 and $4 per 1,000 views, if that makes sense. And financial channels is about twice that, maybe a little bit more than twice. Lately hasn't been because of the recession that we've run into. But then you can see 382,000 views for the last 30 days. You can see total, it's just pretty. I find this stuff, I've always been very analytical. I love statistics, always like baseball, basketball statistics, always enjoyed it. And you can see, let's see. And here's the amount that they think I make a day, which is, again, about half what I truly do. I make about $80 a day on YouTube, which is pretty cool. So let's go to like Sticks Hex Hammer. Sticks Hex, is it Sticks? I can't remember. Sticks, I forgot. Sticks, no, that's not where I want to go. That's Sticks the Band. I'm going to make you feel it, lady of the morning. They got, I'm surprised they only got 5.2 million views. I would have thought they'd have more. So let's go to Sticks. I'll do Tim Pool. I don't know. We'll go to Tim Pool. Let's see what this guy's doing here. There's Tim Pool. So let's go to Tim Pool. And he had a big jump in subscribers there. That's weird. So he's making anywhere between, so he's got a whole bunch more views than I. He's got 192 million views. He's got 781,000 subscribers, so significant. And he's making bank on YouTube between 26,000 and 428. For his channel, I'd probably say it's about half that, because political stuff doesn't pay a lot of money, that's for sure. Until there's an election season, then the election season it will. But anyway, so he's probably making 250. I don't know. I imagine 250. It might be more, but some of these guys, they make their money off of sponsorships for sure. Let's go, my man Wrangler Star. So here's Wrangler Star, and he does homesteading, modern homesteading, with a little bit of a political take, which I actually enjoy. A lot of people don't, but be that as it may, he's been around for 10 years now. 560 million views, 1.5 million subscribers. Is crazy. And he's just pulling bank. He's get tons of this guy. Now this guy gets tons of sponsorships and whatnot. So he's just pulling bank. It's interesting. Look, he's making probably $1,000 a day. And that's just on YouTube revenue. Never mind all the sponsorships and stuff. Lastly, let's go to a big a gardening channel, Kang Star. And here's my man Kang Star, who I'm a big fan of. He does gardening in Texas. And I've been following him since he only had like 30,000 subscribers. He's got 30 million roughly video views. And he's probably making, I bet he's probably making this right here, about 5,000 a month. He's got 176,000 subscribers. So he's making bank. it's interesting too, because a lot of these gardening channels have started making a lot more money during the shutdown. In fact, if we go to Homegrown Grow Veg, which is my man, I think his name's Starling, out in right here, Homegrown Veg out in England, UK. He was saying he's got a huge amount of views over the last couple months because of the lockdown. And so you can see, yeah, right there, look at that, subs. So look at that. So basically he's getting hardly any subs until kaboom, right there. Look at that right there. Boom, boom, because that's the lockdown. Isn't that interesting? Total views, 22,000 a week, 22,000 a week, that boom, 172,000 a week. Isn't that interesting? It's nuts. So pretty cool stuff. I thought you might enjoy that. All right, so let's stop sharing there. All right, let's see what kind of it's good stuff. So the reason I do the videos, actually, I like doing the live stream because it's the best thing I can do to get like to hear what's on your mind. It's kind of interesting because you get to see other channels as well. And so you notice like I don't know, cooking channels. I follow a bunch of cooking channels. I follow gardening, cooking, some music channels, not that many, but some music channels, gardening, cooking, homesteading. I enjoy that. Financial. Let's look at that money GPS guy. Actually, someone had posted about the money GPS guy, and it's easy to get a share screen. Let's look at money GPS guy right here. Go share. Oops, right here. So money GPS. I have no clue what this. I haven't watched this guy's channel forever. Yeah, this guy. One of y'all had posted about the money GPS guy, and I said, "Oh, not this guy." So he's got 62 million views. He's got 244,000 subscribers. Yeah, he's probably making twice that. I bet if he's getting, if he's averaging, how many views? He's averaging. Oh, there's the views. Where's? Oh, he's had 1.76 million views for the last 30 days. I bet he's making upwards of 200,000 a year. This guy on YouTube alone. I don't know if he does sponsorships or whatnot, but I bet he's banking it for sure. His stuff bores me, frankly. I grow old, weary of the negative Nellies all the time out there. It just bored me. My self-reliance. Okay, yeah, let's look at it. All right, so let's see. My self-reliance. So I want to go to share screen, and we're going to go to this guy, share screen. So my self-reliance. Oh, my self-reliance. Yeah, this a lot of cabin. Well, cool. Look at this guy. All right, sweet. Yeah, so he has 8 million views for the last 30 days. Nuts. Look at this guy. Wow. That's fantastic. Yeah, so that, again, I guarantee he's got tons of sponsorships, Tom, which is pretty cool, actually. I bet he's making. Let's who's another guy real quick, just one. It's just I just see I can read this stuff all day long. I don't know why. I've always loved statistics, which is why baseball has always been near and dear to my heart, because baseball is nothing but statistics. Let's watch my man Matt Antonelli, the baseball guy. Matt Antonelli. There we go. And yeah, this guy. Oops. Yeah, I just screwed up somehow. Matt Antonelli. There we go. So I like his channel a lot too. And he's got 150,000 subscribers, 31 video views. He's probably making, I'd probably say about 25,000 a year off his YouTube channel, because, you know, sports and stuff like that just don't draw a huge revenue stream, because there's not that much money in advertising to that audience. I know it's weird, but if you're doing a financial audience, the financial firms are paying big bucks to get in front of the people who are watching your videos, if that makes sense. And it's good for me. It's you know, if you're trying to do a cooking channel, it's gonna be tough to make a bunch of money unless you got serious sponsorships, for sure. So just keep that in the back of your mind. All right, so let's look and see what some of the guys. I got to follow this guy named Nick Murray, and I got to get rid of this freaking thing behind me. I thought I got rid of this. I don't like it anymore. Initially I liked having that screen behind me, or the whatever it is, the virtual background. I don't like it anymore because you can't see it. I'm holding this piece of paper up right now, but y'all can't see it, so I put it from my big fat face. So I want to read some articles for you that I'll link to the show notes, but I want to share one I just referenced in the video I did today about the recession ending on July 10th, 2020. It's from a guy named Michael Labella. And we'll go into that. I think it's pretty interesting. All right, so let's read perfect day in Virginia, humidity much better. Tom's loving the market this week. Yeah. So Mark, I was watching a video from 4 days ago, Mark Possoff, who's my Philly man, where these protesters had taken over 676, and then the police tear gassed them. And everybody and their mom on this video, because it's more of a punk rock kid video channel, and it's just I don't know why punk is for a big authoritarian communist government. I never understood that, because they're certainly not in favor of capitalism and freedom. They're in favor of, which is why the Clash supporting the Sandinistas freaking kiss my butt, because the Sandinistas. Anyways, we support Dan Ortega, Evo Morales, the guy in Honduras. I can't remember his name before he got sent packing. I just nuts me. Anyway, so I'd like to hear your thoughts on anything that went down. It's funny because this guy showed a video on what was going on when the highway's going to Philly, and it's all white kids, all rich white kids. I guarantee you, from freaking South Jersey, Garrett and Princeton and whatnot, Garrett flipping T, all rich white kids, and they're in traffic, and people are trying to get to commute to work, to the hospital, to have a baby, to see a sick grandma. They're trying to go from point A to point B, and the protesters are stopping that. You cannot stop the free movement of a free people and just say we're doing it because I don't care what your excuse is. You're not peacefully doing that. You have an absolute right to peacefully assemble. Did you all read about stupid Chris Cuomo saying, "Whoa, so whoever said that protesting has to be peaceful? Peaceful. That's what the Constitution says. It says it, Chris Cuomo, you freaking idiot. It says peaceful protest, peaceful assembly." Anyway, so these guys are all it's a freaking swarm of, quote, protesters, not revolutionaries, but protesters, all white, and they're stopping traffic for people exercising their freedom to move from point A to point B. Anyways, the cops try to disperse them. They're not listening. They looks like they're about to bum rush them, and they throw down some tear gas. And all these people are like, look, I got no sympathy for these people, man. You can protest in front of City Hall. You can protest all you want. You should not be holding up traffic because you don't know who's on the other side of that traffic, what they're trying to do. I'll never forget last gay pride thing in DC. It was a Pride Day, Pride Month or whatever. They had this freaking clown sitting in traffic, dancing like a freaking fool. And I'll never forget, there's this black lady in a car and just riding on the horn saying, "Get out of my way. I'm trying to go to work." So you had some rich guy in DC protesting that, he's being so proud of himself. And all. It was freaking stupid. And this lady's like, "I'm just trying to go to work. Get the hell out of here." You don't make friends by with salad, first and foremost. You can't make friends with salad. But you certainly don't make friends by keeping people from going from point A to point B. You don't. So anyway, I'm sitting there thinking, man, you guys, I'm going to do another video because I do believe that there's more evil that's happening here. And I think it's run by the CCP, the Communist China Party. If you look historically, the communists have always supported revolutionary tactics in Western civilizations. We know that for a fact. And I think these guys are funded by the CCP, be it the Chinese Communist Party or Comintern. If you're not familiar, Comintern is Communist International. Just because the Soviet Union is no more, and just because right now Putin is on the outside of the left international organization. Look, man, Putin is stupid. He's still funding rabble-rousing groups fronted by that are communist without question. Soros is behind it. There's some evil stuff happening there, and I see it all over the Western world here, where these they're not anarchists, they're communists. They want to separate you from your freedom. That's all there is to it, under the guise of police brutality. It's not George Floyd. These guys don't give two craps about George Floyd. They're revolutionaries. And they got to be dealt with. No other way around that. They got to be dealt with, because we can't have people impeding others people's right to move from point A to point B. You just can't. You can't. And as much as we can say, oh, the cops, well, yeah, there's always going to be bad cops. They should be addressed. And I've said a million times what I think that should happen, which is we back up in the militarization of police. My God. But geez Louise, you cannot have this happening and not have a recourse that's going to come down hard, because normal people don't want to see this crap. They don't. And you're losing any kind of legitimacy by saying, oh, the George Floyd protests are equal to this communist insurrection. And it's not. It's not. They're taking it over, man. And if you're part of this movement for the George Floyd, as well you should be, you better tell these people to go pound sand, because they're hurting your cause, which is what happens all the time. It's a commie term, man. I'm telling you right now. You can, and I just reading my book on Mao, or listen on Mao. I didn't realize that Mao came to power because of financing from the Comintern. I didn't know that. I knew that in Soviet Union and East Germany and whatnot, never mind the Latin America, that was huge, the Communist International. But I didn't know that they had their mitts in China and they propped up Mao. It's crazy. And these guys are not gone just because the Soviet Union is gone. Anyway, it really is. I mean, I'm telling you right now, watch your back, because there are revolutionaries out there. Now, with that said, they revolted against Reagan in 1982. We had a huge recession, I think 10 to 11% unemployment in 1982. And there were protests all over the place then. And then Reagan won 49 states. All right, so the protests of itself are fine. People generally are very sympathetic to protests as part of American culture. It's when it becomes violent, communistic, that people, they don't want that. They don't want that stuff. And so I don't sit there and say Trump is doomed because of protest. I'm telling you right now, just read your history. 1982, protests happened like crazy. Now, Reagan did lose the Senate in 1982, and he never had the House, but he did lose the Senate in 1982. So if they would have voted that year, it might have voted him out. But 2 years later, he did win, the biggest landslide ever. So I'm not too worried about the Trumpsters' ability to get in there, but this is a challenge without question. So just keep your eyes on that. So Mark, if you have a report on the ground of Philly, I'd like to hear it. All right. So all right. Oh boy, Jill says she almost sold everything. Haha, just kidding. I am not in any way. This is what I was saying in my video I did earlier today. In no way, no how was I suggesting people sell. No. I can't. I'm sitting there thinking these people saying, I'm just like, I don't get, literally, I don't get this guy. Nope. All right, come on. There we go. All right, hold on a second. There you go. All right, here, come, sit right here. All right, no, come on. You can sit with me. Hey, come up on my lap. You're good. In no way would I be saying to sell. What I'm saying is that there's always a, in no way do I think like I said yesterday, this is not a dead cat bounce. A dead cat bounce is when we're going back into negative territory. I don't think that at all. I just think what I'm saying is be prepared for a decline of pretty substantial proportions. I have no idea what the futures are right now. I don't know, but just be prepared. And when you see it, don't sit there and say, oh my goodness, the doom is here. And this is what actually annoys me about what happened in 2001 and 2. Everyone thinks the 2000, the beginning of this century was because of September 11th. We forgot about the dot-com bust. September 11th was part of the big picture of the dot-com bust. And when that happened, it was bad. But it wasn't until March of 2003 where we got beyond the dot-com bust and then the September 11th. It's weird how people forget that. And then in the beginning of 2003, the market had started to go back up again towards the end of 2002. And the beginning of 2003, it dropped again like a brick. You see what I'm saying? And I mean, I'm telling you. So people overlook, that was bad. And we're thinking this time, because it was 3 years that the markets were down, the S&P 500 was down significantly. And it was hard to sit there and say, oh, okay, after the beginning of 2003, when it was falling again, that we're just going to be, hey, no big deal. It was a challenge. But yet, look, if you would have held on, you freaking made money. And so I'm just telling you, just be prepared. It's going to happen. And when it does, the media is going to scream bloody murder, that Trump was this or your guy is that. And you just got to ignore these fools. And on top of that, I do not believe by any stretch of imagination the jobs report is right. I don't think it's I don't think it's I don't think it's propped up or conspiracy. I just think I don't know. They always have revisions to job reports, always. And they will have this time too. And it's probably going to come back not as good as what we initially were told on Friday. And when it does, everyone's going to get negative. Everyone's going to say, see, I told you so. And when that happens, and then the market will go down. And you just got to say, look, just be prepared for bad news. It doesn't mean we're going back to freaking the bottom of March 23rd. It just means that you got to be prepared. It does not mean sell. Just stay in there and recognize the markets go up and they go down. They go up more than they go down. And right here, here's what Warren Buffett said. I'm going to read it to you. Hopefully you can see that. Oops. Oh, man. Jeez, you can't see that. I got to get rid of the stupid background thing. Because I got a blue. Oh, no. The factories don't disappear. The farmland doesn't disappear. The skills of the people don't disappear. That's what Warren Buffett said about a recession. So, Trevor, all right. So Deborah said, oops, I saw you, Deborah. Hold on a second. All right, so Deborah says, how would you calculate taxes on $4,500 Social Security, $8,400 rental income, and $62,000 long-term capital gain for a 66-year-old couple confused on process? All right, so you take your, all right, so 45,000 Social Security, 8,400. So you take half your Social Security, was that 22.5. You add the rental income, you add the long-term capital gain. That's your provisional income. And off the top of my head, I don't know what that is, but that's going to be. I have to do it on a whiteboard, Deborah. I can't do it off the top of my head. What's going to happen though is that seems to me 85% of your socials. Yeah, it's gonna be. I hate to even take a guess on actually calculating this, but I'm going to assume 85% of your Social Security will be taxed. We'll just say that's $38,000. 8,400 of your rental income will be taxed, and none of your long-term capital gain will be taxed. Let's see, 80. We'll say 38,000 plus 84,000. Let's just say 50,000 between your Social Security and your rental income is subject to income tax. You're 66, so we take out $27,000 of standard deduction. You have $23,000 of taxable income. We add that 62,000 to the 23 for long-term capital gain. So 62 plus 23 is 85. That ain't gonna be much, man. So you'll have a little bit of income tax on that 23,000. That'll put you at about 2,000. Put you about we'll say 2,500 of income tax on the 4,500 plus your Social Security plus your rental income, and I bet the bulk, if not all, I bet the vast majority of that long-term capital gain won't be subject to taxation at all. I bet you're only gonna have $5,000 around that will be subject to taxation. I think you'll be pretty safe, man. I think you're gonna be quite surprised what you find. If you want to email me, I'd be happy to do a video on that tomorrow, because it'd be interesting. I just, off the top of my head, without the whiteboard, I just don't know. Sorry, but if you want to email me those numbers, there's no way I'll remember this. And I don't think they show the chat when I post a video later. So let's see. Look up Paint Life TV. Yeah. Paint Life TV. What talk was that, Jimmy? Wednesday's my last day at work. Harry. Denise, I'm hoping it's because you're retiring. Oh yeah, Denise. Harry's yeah, he's retiring. It's freaking awesome, man. You know what's fun about my job is that when you get to have a chance to be part of people's retirement, it's just how awesome is that? Oh. Yeah, it's awesome. Freaking Harry's the guy, by the way, who gave me an idea to annuitize everything right out the gate. All right, so let's just say you got $500,000. Wait, I just got to show you this guy. Have I ever said that I love this dog right here? Have I ever told you guys that? Oh, how much do I love this dog? He smells crab on me. So he's like, he just wants to lick me, don't you? Because he says, oh, good. Oh, yeah. Hi. Yeah, look. You smell crab on me. I love this. I love you. Yes, I do. My little buddy. Anyway, what was I getting ready to say? Oh yeah, so Harry's idea was, I see probably they're going in now because I got a stupid video thing up there. I should never done that. I thought I got rid of it. But anyway, so Harry's the guy who said he annuitized or was thinking about annuitizing everything. And then he would generate on $500,000. I've just used that for example because it's a nice round number, and I like nice round numbers in this skull full of mush. But anyway, so Harry says if I annuitize everything and I get a 5% payout, just use that for an example. That's $25,000 a year. $25,000 a year, and I just spend that. And what I don't spend, I invest. I'm essentially dollar cost averaging. This is where he and I were kind of chatting on this, which I thought was an incredible good idea. Back into the market, or I just hold in a savings account. But either way, I got more money than I know what to do with if I annuitize anything. And then if I don't spend that money, and then I can just invest it or save it. I thought that's a pretty good idea. But you're not getting interest on the annuity or much. It doesn't matter because you're getting the excess that you need and you're reinvesting it, and you're essentially locking in that price. Again, I've done a video on that probably, I guess, Harry, I did it about a year ago. Maybe I'll do another one on that because I still think it's a great strategy to lock in the ups of the market, and then you can always get re back in with the amount of money that you don't need, which I think is cool. So Jill says, I prefer the wall missing the sheetrock. It is genuine. I don't like you all not being able to see what Pablo's doing. Oh, boy. He's like scratching right here. Scott, que paso? You getting any rain up there, Scott? Up in LJ? My next door neighbor, Indy Gardner, just started a gardening channel this spring. She got her degree in horticulture long ago, then worked in IT. Her channel's pretty funny and informative. Cool. So Indy Gardner, right on. Yeah, it's good because there's M.I. Gardner up in Michigan. I forgot that kid's name, but I like him. That's fantastic. Whoa. BD retired today, thanks to me. Blessings to you, sir. I'm praying for you, brother or a sister or both. Oh, that's freaking awesome. Kirk, more protests today, and our mayor taking police officers out of schools. I saw that. Just wait till Joe Strummer got his income tax bill. He signed up with the Tories. He will sign up with the Tories. Yeah, I agree with Vinyl. Deborah, your taxes probably I completely agree with that. Completely agree. Tim T, where are you writing in from, man? I forgot. The protesters are mostly right rich kids from the main line in South Jersey. Shocking. What is it about rich kids and this love of Che Guevara and commies and Asada Shakur? I just don't get it, man. Like this stupid Stanford lady, she quoted stupid, the dean of students was quoting this freaking brutal murderous cop killer. You lose all credibility. Look, I just hope the colleges all go down. I'm sick of these schools, man. There's no other way around that. I don't get it. I don't get. I just don't understand. And Eisenhower warned us of this, but you go back before even that about the credentialed elite running society. It's freaking scary. And the funny thing is, who do you think Stalin puts up against the wall first? After he gets, well, it wasn't him so much, but the White Army, they went after the socialists because they weren't socialist enough. They go after. Does this lady at Stanford, the dean of students, really think when the communists take over that she will be exempt from being put up against the wall? It's nuts. They're going to come after her before they come after Harry in Oklahoma. Mike M retired. Oh, Josh convinced me to retire. Ooh, yikes. And Mike, I thought you were going to say, Josh convinced me to retire as well. 2/120. No looking back. Now I got to go back to work. Josh. I thought it was a pretty funny quote about the money GPS guy, which I'll just share it with you now. This is high speed comedian stuff here. I said the money GPS guy could see a white puffy cloud. I forgot what those white puffy clouds are called, against a cobalt blue sky and warned that a hurricane is coming. That's pretty funny. But those puffy blue white clouds, you know what I'm talking about? Against a cobalt blue sky. Man, with blueberries just sprouting, dandelions in the grass, the smell of the sea, Peaks Island right behind you. Oh, I remember that like it was yesterday. Just looking up, my mom would pick me up from preschool, go sit on the back porch and see all we had a big fat garden, blueberry bushes everywhere, chickens in back there, the white clouds up there in the middle of the summertime in Maine, the dark blue sky, sea breezes. Oh my goodness. Oh, I was like Ferdinand the Bull, if you ever seen that book. Just want to smell the flowers and love. There's nothing better. All right, right on. BD, changed my name. Used my numbers on an early video. Right on, man. Just saw a news headline that Minneapolis council members voted to eliminate. Oh my. It's funny. I've had a number of clients from Minneapolis. I don't know if they're still there. Minneapolis council members have voted to eliminate their police department. No more thin blue line if you live in Minneapolis. Did you see that stupid clown of a mayor there who was shame walked out because he didn't want to get rid of the cops? Dude, who are these people? This is nuts. Look, if you don't own a firearm by now, there's no way you can be convinced. There's all there is to it. If you don't own one, and there's just no way I can convince you to do it. I don't know what you're waiting for. You buy insurance before the fire is set. You buy the insurance when everything looks calm. I read that de Blasio is also not defunding. Well, he's defunding the cops by taking away 150 million or something like that and put youth programs for it. The interesting thing is one of the city council members in New York City, Big Lib, is saying, "Oh, this won't affect police's pensions or salaries, though." Well, how can you defund the police if you're not going to affect their pensions and salaries, fool? I just. Yeah, JD, the protest stuff, the way it's covered is driving me out of my mind. You got to stop watching the news so much. I'm telling you, that's all you got to do. I mean, you just got to stop. But the problem with that is you don't want to be an ignorant fool out there freaking. I mean, these are zombies. These people are zombies. Literally, they're zombies. They're just. In fact, it's scary if you follow this one. I don't want to give this guy anyway. It's if you follow, just look at protest on 676. I'm not sure if that's going to show it, but. These people are sheep, man. It's literally there's a couple leaders that go like this. They all follow. It's weird. It's like that movie Z or whatever it's called, where they just follow. They're like sheep being herded. It is though. It's actually scary. You're sitting there thinking, do any of these people have an individual thought? It's the weirdest thing, and it's frightening because you're sitting there thinking these people are in some way this close to taking over, and we can sit here and laugh at them, which is fun to do because they should, but it doesn't take much to storm a place and next thing you know you're in charge. And I still find it funny though, all these guys like, oh, the Armed Resurrection Michigan, the freedom people who actually went through the police station, they had their tongue swabbed, they took a breathalyzer, they got their temperature taken. And they went on to the thing in the Capitol in Michigan, as according to what the police told them to do, in line. They followed directions, and those guys are talked. Oh, the armed protesters are storming the Capitol, and then these people right here, it's weird. But anyway, if you look at 670, like a protest on 676, and watch how this is before the tear gas comes. It is the weird. It's a scary thing, man. You're just watching these people like lemmings. It's nuts. Yep, the left is going nuts. Right on, Tom. I like that. Defund politicians. Will the recession end anyway? Yeah, I mean, so just to be clear, look, man, the recession, I was saying that kind of tongue in cheek. The average recession ends 107 days after the market reaches bottom. The average recession. Will that happen? I don't know. Who knows? We've never been through this ever. What's a self-inflicted wound like we have. Anyway, I mean, so who knows, man? I mean, Mike, this is what I'm just saying. It's like freaking week by week, the numbers. But I got to tell you, the numbers, I followed Brian Westbury over at First Trust Portfolios, and he's always an optimist under Obama and Bush and the Trumpster, because he believes in capitalism. And he feels as long as capitalism is allowed to be capitalism, we're going to be fine, which I agree with explicitly. And he reports, I've been following a steady cascade of positive numbers. There's no getting around that. And I'm stunned. I don't get it. I just don't get it. So we'll see. I'm not convinced. I'm just not convinced. It doesn't mean I'm a negative Nelly. I just as pessimistic by nature. I guess when you're born in northern New England, you're naturally pessimistic. If you're a Red Sox fan or a Bruins fan, hell, a Pats fan. But other than that, but Westbury has reported, for the last 2 months, last 2 months or a month and a half of positive numbers across the board, increasing over the last week. So what are you going to do? I mean, you can argue until you're blue in the face. I'm talking me now, or you can maybe recognize that maybe I'm wrong. I just don't believe it. I don't. It doesn't make sense. But we'll see. Did you see the 75-year-old? Yeah, I saw that guy. Yep, the 75-year-old up in Buffalo, friggin' scumbag. He's a rabble rouser. He's an old commie from a long time ago, but now he gets to play the old man card. I'm just an old man, peaceful protester. And he was trying to scam with his scanner, the police friggin' info. Church is just opening our area. No, it's cool, Tom. Mark, we got you, Mark. Appreciate it, Tom. Just anytime there's a bad word, YouTube, they flip out. But they'll show you showing all kinds of crazy stuff by Antifa. But heaven forbid you say a bad word. Saying Trump drifted away from Constitution, Colin Powell picks Biden. Yeah, I hate to. I was going to share it with you. I didn't. There's a thing on. In fact, I might have taken a picture of it. Hold on a second. Let me just see if I have it. It's actually it's sad. No other way around that. This is what we're up against. Let me see if I got the picture. I guess no, I didn't. Well, anyway, we have a cascade of elitists at Jeff Bezos' housewarming party in Georgetown, Washington, D.C. I think it's Georgetown. Maybe it's Northwest. I can't remember. Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates was there. All the rich elitists were there. Ivanka and Jared were there, of course, because they'll give up their firstborn to be part of the wealthy elite. I don't trust those guys as far as I can kick them. And guess who else was there? General Mattis was there. And I was just like, it's a weird, man. It's weird. It's sad. And it turns out, anyway, I was reading this thing on General Mattis say, look, I don't understand. I don't understand the swamp runs deep. I mean, it's no joke. The swamp runs deep. And there's going to be some good people that are in the swamp that you respect and you You find dignity in it. And I'm not a fan of Colin Powell. I don't believe him at all for anything. I think he's I don't trust that guy as far as I can kick him. I'm sorry. He might be a war hero. Doesn't mean you have a right to undaring belief just because you're a war hero. Jim Mattis might be a Marine. Doesn't mean you have a right to say it. Just doesn't give you the right to freak. I respect the duty and the service, but I'll have to respect where you are today. It's just all there is to it. And the swamp is big, and it doesn't care about Main Street America. That's all there is to it. And I'm not surprised to see Colin Powell. Hell, he endorsed Obama over McCain. McCain is a war hero, right? And Colin Powell endorsed Obama over McCain. Explain that. Crazy. Trump drifted away from Constitution. I posted today, you should watch the Biden floor speech on the Biden crime bill that Clinton signed into law. It's freaking scary, man. And the Republicans went along with it. The Republicans are part of the swamp too. That's the issue. That's all there is to it. And they were upping the ante for the number of crimes that were subject to federal death penalty. It's freaking scary. Scary stuff. And this is the rabble rousing that happens, and the mob mentality takes over. Next thing you know, you're all freaking up against the wall. It doesn't take much. And you listen to Biden's speech, you're like, damn. Look, I'm not saying Trump didn't do the same. I know he probably did. But I'm just saying Trump at that point wasn't in Senate and wasn't proud to say, I'm going to make 60 laws subject to federal death penalty. Scary stuff. Tom's got 50K sitting on the sidelines, worth something, buying something. Yeah, fear. Virginia, slow and steady for retirement investments, no radical moves. I agree with that. Yeah, if the Senate goes Democrat, it's over. No other way around that. But futures are up? Whoa. Really? Futures are up? No, that can't be. That can't be, right? Yeah, I can't tell. That's look. This is freaking awesome. I'd much rather be wrong than be right in this regard. If we have futures up today, yeah, stock futures open higher, extended rally. Well, don't listen to me anymore. That's Y2K fear. That's a good point. Future, I'm just like I said, man. The stock market can be irrational longer than you can stay solvent. That's a fact. But who's rational? Maybe it's not me. All right, I don't know. Nuts. All right, so let's see what we got here. I'm from God's country in the thumb of Michigan. Right on. Oh yeah. Do you think they'll pass a law to create universal savings accounts? Sounds like tax-free growth that can be drawn penalty-free at any time. Tax-free growth. You basically have tax-free growth if you do it right, Isaac. If you do a ETF, a Vanguard ETF, in particularly that's invested in stocks, the S&P 500 or VTI, is basically tax-free growth. Other than you sell it for a capital gain, but it depends on your tax bracket. If you're in a lower tax bracket, there's no capital gain, and even if you got to pay a capital gain, it's 15%. So I don't think we need a universal savings account, Frank. I think we pretty much have it essentially already established in just buying a low-cost index fund and letting that sucker grow. You take it out, you pay a little bit of capital gain. I don't have any qualm. I don't know why. I don't think that's that big of an issue, frankly. In fact, if anything, it'll keep the politicians honest with capital gains, because if a lot of people have capital gains that they can access without paying a whole lot of tax, they'll want to make sure that they access them without paying a whole lot of tax, which means holding politicians' feet accountable not to raise the long-term capital gain rate. So you can kind of create that for yourself. I just don't think it's that big of a deal. Josh, the long-term capital gain over 77,400 is taxed at 15% in that example. Yes, ma'am, you got it. Considering unemployment so high and valuations have almost hit their pre-COVID peak, do you think the wise to enter the market later this year? Well, Tom, how long have you been out, brother? Yeah. Please tell me you didn't sell in March. I always think it's wise to enter the market. for long-term investors, absolutely. If I can, what was it? I'm just gonna read the Buffett thing again. The factories don't disappear. The farmland doesn't disappear. The skills of the people don't disappear. The 500, the biggest, and I hate to say the best, but the most profitable companies in the world are right here in the good US of A, for the most part. Those companies didn't just wake up one day and have 15% of their value stripped across the board, or hell, 35% of the value stripped across the board. That did not happen. I mean, in any rational sense. So are those companies going to be more profitable or less profitable tomorrow? I don't know. But a year from now, 2 years, 5 years from now, I mean, look, if you believe in the investment world, you have to assume those companies are going to have more value 5 years from now than they do today. You have to. And if you think that, then you go in now. I cannot stress this enough. If you're a short-term speculator, I got nothing to say. But if you think I'm in here for a long-term investment, more than just speculation, I'm investing, not speculating. Speculating is Las Vegas. Everyone says Wall Street is like Las Vegas. Well, it is if you're a speculator. If you're an investor, nothing could be further from the truth. You're saying, where do I think these companies, the 500 top companies in the United States, are going to be a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? If the answer is you think you're going to be further along profitability wise, then why wait? Just go in there. If you think that you're trying to make a quick buck, I wouldn't do it. No rain today, man. All right. Not up in LJ. All right. Mary snuck up on me that I was even eligible. Realized when I started working from home during COVID, decided I like staying home. Take that, freaking commute. There's one less person on the traffic giving us carbon monoxide in the air, not carbon dioxide. It's crazy how many people mix the two, CO2 and CO. Tim T, I mostly watch Josh and other YouTube channels where you can learn something. You got Pablo. Yes, he does. They're super conservative, really stodgy. Mary said, I guess Mary just retired. Yeah, Kirk says he just got rid of social media. Feels like a brand new man. Yes, sir. Didn't Rush do a song, Brand New Man? All right, so Vinyl says, Deborah, he thinks 16% of your capital gain will be taxed at 15%. So I tell you, I know you probably think you got a huger tax bill than you have, but I think Vinyl and I are thinking along the same lines. It's going to be a hell of a lot less than you think. So good job. Long-term capital, just what we just talked about, long-term capital gain. Mark, now we have those crazy left-wing protesters. I am feeling a bit of a MAGA from Mark here. Mark has always been a middle-of-the-road guy. Believe it or not, we got a lot of middle-of-the-road guys on this channel. And I think Mark's one of those guys, but I think he's starting to get freaking ticked off by those crazy protesters. Good on you, brother. Look, I'm just putting words in your mouth, Mark. Don't take it personal. I sold some of my Oxy, kept the rest. All right. Philly has been nasty. It's like a ghost town, everything boarded up, even at Penn. The protesters seem to calm down the vandalism of the businesses. Yeah. All right, cool. I appreciate the heads up on that. Kirk, they going nuts in Portland. Mary, congrats on retirement. Is Ray in the house? Right on. Denise has over a year to go, but it's a year. As you get older, the time goes by quicker, Denise. So you'll wake up a year from now, still we're sitting here with old Pablo. Pablo, look at that guy. Pablo, look. Oh my goodness. Can you all see this guy is, how can I wish Kim Davis was on here. Stop showing Pablo. How much does that crack me up? All right, let's see. Swamp Rat. One reason I don't like Bitcoin, can't bribe the fire. I can't bribe. Oh. Swamp Rat says, one reason I like Bitcoin is you can't bribe the firing squad with it, man. Ain't that the truth? Oh, man. Yeah. Mark, this part of the country is liberal, as you might know. The funny thing is, when we lived in Haddonfield, Camden was literally one town over. And I always said, if one of these days the good folks in Camden are going to do a show of strength in Haddonfield. Haddonfield is a very wealthy town in South Jersey, outside of Philly. And I said, when they do, all of a sudden these rich liberals in Haddonfield are going to turn just like that. And I don't think this might be the beginning of the wake up call. It says, look, man, no one's responsible for your defense other than you. That's all there is to it. And if you think it's going to be we had well, I don't want to say more, but let's just put it this way: no one is responsible for your defense more than you. And we knew some people who were detectives in Camden County, and let's just say sometimes crime gets underreported, if you know what I'm saying. And because of that, if you think you just read the crime stats and that's showing you a real truth of the matter, crime's not that bad. Yeah, you're not paying attention. And at some point, you'll be on the other end of that. And when that happens, you're going to look, you say, I never believed in owning even a 12 gauge. I don't need a gun. I'm just going to rely on my friendly neighborhood policeman. And he won't be there because he's been defunded. Let's see. Yeah, right. So, Deborah, 57,000 of that capital gain is going to be taxed at nothing. How freaking awesome is that? 57,000 of your $6,600, 66,000 capital gain is a big fat goose egg. Oh man. Urban flight will quickly wrap, and I agree, Ray. In New York City, they have to pay the police union contract. Maybe that's one of the reasons they're defunding them, I guess, because they can't afford it anymore. I don't know. That was crazy. Oh, okay. That's why the Trumpster gets a lot of grief from other pop. They don't want to be defunded. He's shaking the fat guy. Yeah, I agree. Congrats to all you soon-to-be retirees, man. Well, I hope you guys do YouTube channels or share what you learned with people. I mean, either commenting here and all that stuff. But I hope you guys share your knowledge with other people who have an ear to listen for sure. Can you tell me if there's any difference in what happens to a non-spouse Roth IRA, Buckeye DJ, the traditional IRA, 401k upon the death of the main holder? Yes, there is no difference, is that they all have to be distributed within 10 years now because of the Secure Act, which secured nothing. But the Roth IRA will go tax-free. The other two will be taxed fully as ordinary income, Buckeye. So there's no difference on the non-spouse distribution. Pats fan before Brady and Belichick. Yeah. Craig James, Tony Eason, Steve Grogan, Stanley Morgan, John Hanna, Steve Nelson, Raymond Claiborne, and the list goes, oh man, Mosey to Tupu. Remember Simpsons did a thing, Mosey to Tupu. I like New Jersey. I don't miss it, HB. New Jersey is just freaking gorgeous. I mean, going out there to the west part of the state, and then the mountain, not huge mountains, but beautiful rolling mountainous terrain, freaking gorgeous, man. Then you got the ocean. It's insanely beautiful. South Jersey is like flatlands, like living in Alabama. That's what they call South Jersey, like the Alabamans of New Jersey. If you know, they think it's derogatory to South New Jerseyans. I think it's a term of endearment, frankly. But it's I like New Jersey. It's just you can't. I was listening to Tim Pool talk about how he's trying to get a firearm in New Jersey, and it's just is insane. It's insane. And so the only people who own firearms in New Jersey are truly criminals, as was I at one point, because I didn't register anything when we moved from Texas to New Jersey. In fact, I'm surprised no one showed up at my door to say, "Hey, you're from Texas. We know you have lots of firearms. Let's see what you got." But I think you even had to. Did you even have to tell the sheriff that you had a 12 gauge? I think you did. I can't remember. Of course, I didn't own any guns at that point. I had none. Prove that I did. Prove that I had that firearms back then. You can't. I had none. Then you had to go to Pennsylvania to buy your firecrackers for 4th of July. I had a Marine who lived next to me. and another guy who worked for, he worked in DC. We'll keep that next to him. And they went to Pennsylvania to buy fireworks. We used to have this like neighborhood party on 4th of July. And I forgot what he said. He said, if you lived in Pennsylvania, you couldn't buy it. But if you lived out of state, you could. And you couldn't buy it in New Jersey. So you had to go to Pennsylvania to buy your fireworks. But if you lived in Pennsylvania, you couldn't buy it or something. It was nuts. Anyway, we loved it, man. I mean, I'm not gonna. I walked to school. The downtown Haddonfield was freaking awesome. That's where the movie Halloween, I think, was made. One of those movies. We just enjoyed it immensely. It's just you can't afford it, man. And I hate the regulations. I hate it. It's nuts. So, last person I voted for, George W. Bush. Yeah, an awful president. You know, Bush now is saying he's gonna. I don't think he quite said he's gonna endorse. What's his name, Biden, but he's not going to endorse the Trumpster. All right. The problem with waiting to get back in the market is if this is 2009 again, we had 10 good years of gains. Lance, yeah, I agree, Tim. When you drain the swamp, the snakes, rats, and other vermin that call home don't like. I could not agree more. Evening developer. Gretchen out there marching in Michigan. I saw that. What a freaking AWS clown. There's only one common denominator in the decade after decade of financial, education, racial issues in every large inner city. And say, a political party. Yep. It's weird how that political party never gets examined and say, why are you doing this to us? Yeah. I would have expected stocks go down tomorrow too. Vinyl. I did a video on it yesterday. Expect a big decline. Look, don't follow me because obviously I don't know anything. I bet the dumb money is coming in. Sophisticators, investors will sell. Do they really make a pill so you ignore the stupidity of most people today? It'd be dumb to use money from house. Would it be dumb to use money from a house sale to pay taxes to convert or use it to, all right. Would it be dumb to use money from a house sale at zero tax to pay tax to convert to a Roth or use it to supplement money and income? Supplement income. Man, that's a good question. It doesn't matter from where the money came from that's sitting in cash in which to pay taxes on or to use the money to live on, BD. So, I mean, the money could have easily come from a gift, a house. It really matters not. The fact is the money's sitting there now. So because of that, you take that out of the equation because it's irrelevant. The second part is it worth it to use some of that money to pay tax to convert or use some of that money to supplement your income? So remember, we don't want you converting only to go broke later on. That doesn't make any sense. So if there's any concern that you might go broke later on, don't convert. No way, Jose. But if it absolutely makes sense if we're looking at the widow's tax trap and things of that nature, absolutely. COVID infection up double 2 days in a row. That doesn't bother me. The COVID infection, this is the whole thing. The infections aren't what's concerning. It's the who is infected. And if you're not in a good place to begin with and being infected is deadly, no other way around that. But if you're not unhealthy, who cares? I mean, I hate to say it like that, but it won't kill you. It's just not going to happen. And so that's why the whole thing with the baseball players, I'm like, look, you're just not at risk. And even those protesters, it's not at risk. I mean, they're just not. Now, if you're sickly, that sucks. You should have been quarantined from day one. You shouldn't have been put in the freaking nursing homes, Cuomo and half-wit, but all right. Both Josh and I got 5 to 6K, but the total income makes 8% of Social Security. Right on, man. Retired on Friday. Take that, corporate America. The freedom is, it's freaking awesome. That's awesome. New World Man. What's that Rush? New World Man. Right on. Yeah, I was listening to some Rush, Caress of Steel. Oh man, like Rush, freaking Neil Peart. Was there a better lyricist than Neil Peart? You know, Shane McGowan from the Pogues was pretty good, but I don't know, Neil Peart. And the guy who did some of those old anti-war songs from Ireland was fantastic. But man, Neil Peart, my goodness. I just yeah, look, if you never just read the lyrics to Bastille Day, it's man, it is friggin' that guy, Neil Peart, man. Oh, you just remind me of my book, Wellington Fund. Oh, I gotta get it done. I got to. I just get sidetracked. Why, Pablo? Why? John said, you worked from home the last 4.5 years. Love the commute from the coffee pot to the computer room. The boss is on the East Coast, down in Hillsboro, Oregon. Do it if you can. Dude, working from home. Ray read Fritz Murphy's retirement manifesto. It was so non-nonsense. It's not Fritz Gilbert, right? Retirement manifesto, right on. It's so no nonsense. Breastfeeding. If $17 million is printed for slave reparations, what $17 trillion is printed for anything? Robert Johnson once, oh yeah, the guy from Black Entertainment. Yeah, David Dorn. Just as Schwab Roth conversion calculation told me to basically stay with my traditional IRA. So Hans, is Schwab? First, I'm assuming you're married. I don't know, but if you're married, is Schwab looking at what happens to your surviving spouse? My inclination, I bet they don't. I bet they just look at your tax bracket now versus your future tax bracket, and they don't consider the difference in single versus married filing jointly. If you're still here, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. See, we are out relaxing by the dock. Yes, that's why I got my my suntan. Oops, let me just do that real quick. All right, just reading through these stuff. It was way easy to get a gun when we moved back to Philly. All right, right on, Mark. I lost all my guns in a tragic boating accident. Pablo ate my guns. I would question that Roth calculator. Cannot agree more. Fear, absolutely. Yeah, Jersey. I couldn't agree more, Ray. Jersey, I love. I've always the people in New Jersey were nice to me. North Jersey, all down the south. I enjoyed New Jersey and the people there. We had, I mean, it's like living back in Maine. I mean, just the neighborhood that we lived in was just everyone's hanging out. It's actually almost always a little bit debilitating sometimes because I just want to go out and play wiffle ball with the boys. Next thing, all the neighborhood kids, just like the old days, would come and would all end up playing. I was just like, I'm just trying to. Roberto, I believe I'll get my job back in New York City, but I'm extremely worried about returning due to safety concerns. A lot of people are worried about returning as well, and a lot of stores are looted. It's freaking crazy, man. I'm sorry to hear that, Roberto. I got your email. More to come. Hey, Mascaret LLC manager. Right on. Good night, everybody. Right on, John. Thanks for being here. All right. Have you checked your white privileged yet? You don't have more than me. All right. Good stuff. David Dorn, RIP. Could not agree more. I just, it sickens my, just an old man, just sickens my heart, man. Tina just retired in time, February 7th, just like that same time our friend JD here did, around the same time. Now I used to work in Hollywood, California, jammed with protesters. The first day Rite Aid was vandalized. Thought about converting 100K. Isn't there a 5-year waiting period? There's a 5-year waiting period before you get the before you have access to the whole thing tax free, but you always have access to their principal for sure because you pay taxes on it. So what happens if $100,000 let's just say it grew to $120,000. That 20,000 you don't have access for the 5 years, but the 100,000 you do. If you're over 59 and a half, assuming you're over 59 and a half, because it's just like a distribution from a regular IRA. You don't have access tax free, but you have access to the 100,000 for sure. I watched my video from 18 months ago on Vanguard, Schwab, and Fidelity. Got to start a Roth at one before July 15th, but may use this more extensively later on. I do like Vanguard funds. Yeah. Oh, Harry. Oh, man. Harry, all right, cool. So thanks, Harry. I don't care what they say. You're a good guy. Oh, man. It's great. They made an arrest. It's sad because Jane on posting, she's a big lib on my channel, but I actually like Jane's take, and I'm sure she's not watching this right now, but she posted, and I posted my thing is, why didn't their lives matter? There's 2 little black kids in Jackson, Mississippi. And Jane posted they found the murders and they made an arrest. First of all, that's not true. But I'm sitting there thinking, but if lives matter, those little kids are still dead. They're dead. It doesn't matter that they caught the perp or what we think is a perp. It doesn't matter. They're still freaking dead. I'm sitting there thinking, we can justify this all day long by saying, well, if we didn't riot, they would have arrested the guy, whatever the dude's name was, the cop in Minneapolis, all that. Well, I don't know that, but whatever. I don't care. That doesn't matter. The matters is you're saying a certain group's lives matter. Then when that certain group loses lives, you say, well, that doesn't matter to the extent because they investigated the perpetrator and they made an arrest. And I'm sitting there thinking, Jane, that's for blacks that are killed in violence. That's not true for the majority of them there's no arrest. But even so, even if they arrested people and found them guilty in front of a jury of their peers, these people are still dead. They're gone. They'll never see the light of day. A mom has lost his child. A mom has lost her daughter. A 5-year-old girl is dead. I look, maybe it's my white privilege showing, but I'm sitting there thinking, the lack of arrest isn't the fundamental problem. We know what the fundamental problem is. It's the breakdown of family. And it's starting to happen to white society too, big time. That's what Charles Murray says. The destroying of, I can't remember, the something about America. Because there's more and more white families that are born in single parent families too. It's nuts to me. It's not poverty. It's not poverty. Crime was not rampant and during the Great Depression when the poverty was the highest. Crime was not rampant in freaking black families back during Jim Crow South. Now crime is rampant all over the place. I guarantee there's one constant variable is alcohol. It's weird how no one wants to ban alcohol, but I also guarantee it's because it's freaking insane war on drugs, but it's even more than that. It's a complete breakdown of the family where dads are in prison and moms don't have, and the kids don't have a father figure. We know this. There's no debate on this. And it's not just blacks. It's across the board. It's almost like, if you were to design a communistic manifesto, what is the enemy other than the church? It's the family. So if you wanted to have a dry rot of society, what would you promote? Banishing the family. Harvard, the stupid idiot freak show at Harvard had written an online article for the New York Times or New Yorker magazine, basically calling homeschool parents essentially Nazis because she wants the state to have the authority over your kids. And we know from an MSNBC reporter said the state first, family second. This is what the commies want. And the commies play the long game. The long game. We play the short game. We think these people are dealing with logic and facts. They're not. They're not. Just listen to Nancy Pelosi. On any given day, her tunes change. She's not a commie. But when you're born and bred of the left, you don't have to make logical sense. No one's going to hold you accountable for what you said. No one's going to do it. You just have to say, advance the ball down the field by any means necessary. And why people don't see this, I don't understand. So when I advocate for a wealth tax, people say, I had a lady unsubscribe, a conservative Christian, said, you don't understand. I said, you don't get it. You don't get it. There's no fear from the pitchforks on our side. You got to get these people to fear you so they can respect you and do what you need to be done to keep your freedom. And they don't fear us because for since 1964, when Goldwater got shellacked, we've just been taking it like the redhead stepchild. We'll get along to go on, get along to go along. All the while they're taking one freaking yard at a time, advancing the ball downfield, and now they're on the 10-yard line. And they would be probably in the end zone if Trump didn't win. Trump was, I don't know if you ever saw the Gary Reasons sack or hit on the Denver Broncos. Look at the Gary Reasons hit on YouTube. Is 1987, I think, in Denver. Gary Reasons was the middle linebacker for the Giants. He stopped, I can't remember his name. I can't remember the fullback for the Broncos, but he stopped him. 4th and goal at the 2-inch line. That was like Trump. He was our Gary Reasons. And if we didn't have that, it's over. I literally, truly believe that. I mean, it wouldn't be over like tomorrow. We're not going to be marching in revolutionary gear, but it'd be lost. But Trump came in like our Gary Reasons, and Trump said no. And we stood behind him as a New York Giants defense right there with Lawrence Taylor, all those guys. It was fantastic. Now, all right, let's see. Recommendations for a 500,000 portfolio, 67 years old in these weird times. Ratio bonds stocks. Deborah, they're always weird times. Always, first and foremost, always remember that they're always weird. They're never not weird. I just don't know. Yeah, I don't know. There's no way to give you a recommendation on that. If I were to give a recommendation on that, and the whoever the licensing at people, FINRA, SEC, state of Georgia, they'd put me in Fort Leavenworth because there's just no way. I need to know more for sure. Yeah, Jesse Lee. Yeah, I got. There's lots of people coming around. They want God out of the equation, and they don't want. They have won. They have won. Did you hear? Look, you don't have to be Catholic, but you hear the Pope. Yeah, he's bought hook, line, and sinker the green stuff. You hear the Archbishop of Canterbury. He's bought hook, line, and sinker these people have gone nuts, man. There's no other way around that. Yeah, no, I'm Jesse Lee Peterson, sure. Well, Drew Brees apologized because he had to, man. I mean, it's just the mob rolls, and we don't have enough people on our side. We just don't who are willing to take the arrows, and it's too bad. But they're starting to come around. I think they're starting to get more and more. Which in the YouTube, like, who was it? A guy I posted my channel just today, and I said to him, let's see if I can't find the comment that he posted. He had posted, he says, I'm surprised YouTube allows your channel, given the crap you spew or something like that. And then he deleted that. And he got rid of that last sentence. He said something else. He said, who was this guy? He is this guy, Ali Mason. And he says, if I can't find it. Yeah, Pope is a commie. No other way around that. Yeah, he's a liberation theory guy. Let's see if I can't find what he said. And he deleted that because I think he knew where we're going with this, that he was advocating censorship. He is. Lefts are, yeah, he says, commies love Nazis. That was my thing. Typical misdirection play, Josh. But he added to that. But he deleted it. He says, I'm surprised YouTube allows your channel here, something like that. I said, huh? I said, Ali, why did you delete your original post which showed you wanting to censor me? Kind of proved my point, actually, isn't it? It's just interesting because they want to censor you. They don't even hide it anymore. They don't. So, all right. Mr. High Ren says it's going to be a great week in the stock market. Buy the market. I hope you're already in there. I know his Right Capital is not updating. Is there a change or a problem? I don't know. I have to look into it. I haven't heard that, B-Fly. But I think I might have noticed that myself. So I'll find out. I'll let you know. All right. I can get out of here, guys. I want to make it short one night. Thank you for being here. For those of you who are just retired or about to freaking kick ass and take names in your new life, if you need something funny, look at that right there. If that doesn't make your world soften up your heart, nothing will. My breastfeeding dog. I love this guy. All right, guys, thanks again for being here, and more videos to come. By the way, if you guys have video ideas, I don't know, put them. Let me know. Either email me or email gets a little bit backed up. Don't email me. I don't want to say don't email me. Email me is fine. The email gets pretty deep. Just post them on the community channel. Actually, that's the way to do it. So if you go on the community, I post stuff all the time, and I read all the comments on the community thing because it's just easy, and I don't get nearly as many comments. But if you see something you want me to talk about, just post it on one of those. Those are actually less viewed, so I see them a lot easier. That'd be a way to do it for sure. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you all. Blessings to you.